welcome back to Lira in Law on a Thursday evening between 7:30 and 8:30 nga. As I was saying, ang topic po natin, as usual, sa big one nga, the third of our trilogy, indefinite leave to remain, pero sa mga workers. Okay? Marami tayong kailangan i-cover nga ngayon. So I'm not going to no further ado, okay? So, indefinitely. So, unang-una po, ano bang ibig sabihin indefinite leave to remain? Indefinite leave to remain is how you settle in the United Kingdom. So, otherwise known as permanent residence, settlement status nga. It gives you the right to work, live, study in the UK for as long as you like. But, I mean, bear in mind, there are also things to watch out for, or kahit may indefinite leave to remain kayo, where you've been absent in the UK for a while. But anyway, so the starting point is it gives you nga the right to remain in the United Kingdom for as long as you wish. If you need to apply for benefits and you're entitled, you can also do that. And it usually kailangan yung indefinite leave to remain bago kayo makakakuha ng British citizenship, o British passport. So, importante nga itong indefinite. Now, a big chunk of people nga who come into the United Kingdom is workers, no? Kaya pasok nga tayo dito dahil kailangan natin magtrabaho. And itong pag-uusapan nga natin, part 3 of the trilogy, no? Sounds much posher than it is, but the una nga pinag-usapan natin spouse, pangalawang pinag-usapan nga natin is to do with long residence, ngayon workers, no? It's probably of the three, siguro itong mas malaking topic. Now, so we're going to look at nga those who are coming into the UK or in the United Kingdom to work, no? Conditions for indefinite leave to remain. Anong kailangan yung mapakita? Ano bang proseso? Magkano? No? What about the family? No? Because a lot of people who enter the United Kingdom to work have been able to also bring their family into the UK. Nandito na nga sila. Ano mangyayari sa kanila? No? So tingnan nga natin, various types of workers coming into the United Kingdom. And within that, iba-iba nga din, no? Some people are enter the UK as investors, mga ganon. Ang focus po natin ngayon is what was called Tier 2 or T2 or skilled worker. Okay? In the olden days, kung matanda nga kayo, like me, no, it was also called work permit, no, back in the day. But it's all, yun ang focus po natin ngayon. Masok nga kayo dito as a skilled worker, for example, no? Now, alam niyo naman, ang daming nagbago. I'm not going to touch on the changes, not if we can help it, to the skilled worker route just because of time. So, focus po natin ngayon, nandito na kayo, no? Now, can you now apply for indefinite leave to remain for settlement status? So we'll look at the requirements. Pero una nga, as usual, practical, no? Ano bang form na kailangan nyo i-completuin? It's called a set O form. Okay? Yung application, all applications now are submitted online. So you make an application online to the Home Office. Magkano bang kailangan yung bayad? Ang bayad po, it's quite big, no? £2,885 for each person. Okay? So kahit nga isang application lang sasabit nyo, dahil pwede nyo ilagay nga din yung asawa nyo at saka yung mga anak nyo, hindi ibig sabihin na isa lang ang fee. It means $2,885 per applicant. No discount for children. Okay? So it's a massive amount. Now, dahil indefinite ng ipapasok nyo, hindi nyo na kailangan magbayad ng separately yung immigration health surcharge. Okay? Normally, pagka-extension nga lang kukunin nyo, so sabihin natin nakakuha yung 3 taon as a skilled worker, kailangan yung 2 taon pa ulit to get an extension nga to get indefinite leave to remain. Usually, you need to, well, not usually, it is the case that you need to then pay the immigration health surcharge unless there's some exemptions. So, for example, kung nandito nga kayo under the health worker route, no? So, yung nga, so importante po na ready din kayo magbayad, no? Because it's a huge amount. So, ibig sabihin, kung dalawa nga lang kayo, no? Ikaw at yung asawa mo nandito, so that means, just for the fee, is £5,770. Okay? Which is basically 2,885 times 2. So, now, ano pang kailangan nyo makita? So, ready na kayo, no? Meron na kayo, hopefully na yung pera, or you have your credit card, yeah? You have the form. Anong kailangan nyo pakita? Unang-una po, time, okay? You must have lived and worked in the United Kingdom 5 years, okay? Not 4.5, no, but 5 years. You need to also, so yun ang una, and of course, if you are going to be 5 years within, say, 28 days of the application, pwede nyo na ipasok. Pero kung kulang pa kayo, then you be careful, no? Because it could be that if they deal with it before your 5 years, then they may refuse your application. So ingat nga kayo. Timing is very important for all kinds of applications naman eh. But certainly for immigration is crucial timing. So have a look, no? Also, kailangan nyo pakita din na you were last granted permission as a skilled worker. Okay? Na yun ang visa nyo. So, sabihin natin, masok nga kayo dito as a skilled worker. Tapos, pinalitan nyo yung visa nyo as a spouse. No? You cannot then apply under this route, under the indefinite leave to remain as a skilled worker, on the 5-year route as a worker nga, dahil pinalitan yung visa nyo, dahil spousal na kayo. No? Yung spouse visa nyo, yun ang kailangan, dahil yun ang visa nyo na ngayon, yun ang kailangan yung tignan. Can you apply on that basis, or can you apply under the long residence route, which was last week's topic? Okay. Now, you also need to show, so hindi nga lang sapat na nandito nga kayo 5 years, nagtatrabaho pa rin kayo dun sa employer nyo, and of course that you pa rin ang visa nyo. Hindi nga lang yung sapat. You also need to be able to show that you are needed for your job, and you meet the salary requirements. Importante nga din na yung employer nyo, meron pa din silang lisensya, okay, the sponsorship license. So it's like making an application for an extension mo, yung nga lang indefinite na papasok nyo. Kailangan nyo pa rin pakita na kailangan pa rin kayo dun sa trabaho nyo at saka yung salary requirements. The salary requirements depends really kung anong ginagawa nyo. I'll give you an example nga later on. Okay? But you need also the employer to confirm na yung sapat ang pera nyo. Kung hindi sapat ang pera nyo, so hindi nga yung sweldo nyo hindi nga sapat, no, it's not it does not tick the income requirement, the application will be refused. So again, do your calculations. Now on top of all of that, kailangan nyo gawin yung what's called life in the UK test, no? Knowledge of language and life in the UK. Hindi nga lang yung basta-basta, no? You need to actually study for it because it's actually quite hard actually. No? Now, you don't need that though if you're over the age of 65 or under the age of 18 or there are medical conditions. So, but anyone in between, kailangan nyo. No, there are no exceptions other than, as I say, medical conditions nga. Hindi nyo kailangan yung B1 English language because you've already done that. You're in the UK as a skilled worker. You already did the B1 English language. Pero kailangan nyo pa rin yung life in the UK. Kailangan pumasa kayo doon. And there, I think there's something like 24, 25 questions, and you need to pass. I think you need 18. And as I say, hindi po yung basta-basta. Do not be disheartened kung hindi nga kayo makapasa first time. Most of my clients, pumapasa sila third, actually increasingly at the moment, fourth time, no? So you need to allow yourself time to actually pass it. So kung may plano kayo magpasok ng application, sabihin natin, no, at end of the year, kung ako kayo, do the life in the UK test na nga ngayon because it doesn't expire anyway. By the way, you will be able to reuse the life in the UK test nga for the naturalization application. And we're going to deal with a little bit nga about the naturalization application pagka nakuha nyo na nga ito. So, it's not, marami kayong kailangang gawin. But look, it's like everything else in immigration nga, you must just check that you satisfy nga the requirements, okay? Now, there's also something called suitability requirements. Now, ang ibig sabihin yun that you are of good character, basically. So you must not be in breach of immigration law, or you must not be on immigration bail, or conviction, criminality. That may be an issue kung may nangyari nga yun. So, sabihin natin, handa na nga kayo, no? Now, what else do you need to watch out for? Absences, importante yun. And this is also something in all areas of immigration, importante po. So you cannot be away from the United Kingdom for too long. Now, what's too long? Usually they say you should not have spent more than 180 days outside the United Kingdom in any given 12 months. No? Now, 180 days is 6 months. So it's a long time. Frankly, if you've been away from the UK 180 days, the Home Office may have already concerns that you're actually in the UK working. I'm not, a lot of employers also, no? Wala nga kayo for 6 months, they'll probably sack you. But at the moment, at least they say 180 days, you must not be away from the UK 180 days over a period of 12 months. But you shouldn't be really kung dito nga kayo nagtatrabaho. Now, if you think that there's an issue with absences, there's actually a very useful calculator, no, on the Home Office website. Kung interesado kayo, email me later on and I'll send you nga the link that counts nga continuous residence in the UK. But komplikado nga, so I'm not delving into it too much. Now, what would happen though is if you have more than one visa, I have a lot of clients in this position nga, no? So sabihin natin, dumating nga kayo dito, work visa kayo, skilled worker nga kayo, no? Tier 2. Tapos, hindi kayo nagkasunduan ng employer nyo, umalis ka doon. Now, ano bang ibig sabihin yun? Pwede mo bang bilangin yun? Pwede nyo bang bilangin towards the 5 years? The answer is yes. So, I'll just reel off to you just because I took this from the Home Office website. Anong mga klaseng visa to do with employment na pwede nyo idugtong yung pagsasamahan? So, for example, any Tier 1 visa, okay? Except Tier 1 graduate entrepreneur. Skilled work or Tier 2 general, you know, scale-up worker, Tier 2 minister of religion, international sports person, innovator, founder, global talent, representative of overseas business. So, kung marami kayong so sabihin natin may visa kayo, iba-iba nga lang, but it's under that, you can put them together and hopefully come up with the 5 years nga. Now, so, ibig sabihin po, kung pinalitan nyo nga yung visa nyo, sabihin natin, you then have a spouse visa, no? Hindi nyo pwede yung idagdag doon sa worker visa, sa indefinite, the 5 years. So, kung pinalitan nyo nga yun, then you have a spouse visa, then you come under the spousal route. It could be that you can make an application, of course, under the 10-year long residence route, yung topic nga natin last week, but hindi nyo pwedeng idugtong yung spousal visa nyo with this type of application. Now, as usual, with anything immigration, money, no? Pera nga, financial requirements. So let's have a look at that, no? You also, so the general rule, I'll just read this to you again. This is from the Home Office website. Sabi nila, you usually need to be paid at least whichever is the highest out of the following. Highest, either £25,600 per year or £10 per hour, or the going rate for the type of work you'll be doing. And usually, the highest, and therefore the requirement, is the going rate. Yun, iba-iba po yun, depending on the job that you get paid, you have. So, for example, may mga trabaho nga where the going rate is lower than, in fact, usually what's required. Prime example po is kung visa nyo under the health and care worker visa. So, for example, care workers, okay? Alam ko maraming nagbago nga for care workers and home cares this year to do nga with their dependents. But at the moment, so sabihin natin 5 taon na nga kayo dito, magli-5 taon na nga kayo, anong kailangan nyo pakita? So at the moment, under as a care worker, which is under code, ang code 6135, ang kailangan nyo pakita, 23,200 or otherwise £11.90 per hour. Obviously on a full-time employment, which is usually 37.5, no? Per week, yeah. So, but not all jobs come under the health and care worker visa. In fact, it's getting less and less. But there's so papakita ko sa inyo yung lista, okay? I'll go back to it later on because for one of the questions, papakita ko sa inyo yung mga bisang yung mga trabaho that come under the health and care worker visa. So ibig sabihin mas mababa ang kailangan, hindi nyo kailangan mas mataas na income nga. So let me just see if I can just find that the list nga, if I can find it. Otherwise I'll show it later on. So tingnan nga natin lista. Let me have a look. Okay. Ito po. Ito nga yung lista, no? It goes on for a little bit. So your job must be in one of the following occupation codes, yeah, to qualify for the health and care worker visa. Okay, so for example, yung health services, public health managers, health and care practice managers, makikita nyo yan, no? Psychotherapists, no? CBT therapists, no? Medical radiographers, dental practitioners, optometrists, pharmacists, clinical psychologists, so ganoon. And I think there's another list. So tingnan nyo. So nasa baba, care workers and home carers, and then the 6135. And then there's 6136 senior care workers. So yun po, kung yun ang trabaho nyo, then you come under this health and care work visa, no? So ibig sabihin, hindi ganong the income that you need to show, the employer needs to show, is not as high. So as I've said, kung care worker nga kayo, you're under code 6135, ang income po kailangan nyo pakita, the lower rate is £23,200, otherwise known as £11.90 per hour. Okay? Importante nga din yun. If you don't satisfy your income, okay, yung salary requirement, marirefuse yung application nyo. And that obviously for a lot of people would be disastrous. Okay? Now, dependent. So sabihin natin, and I have a lot of clients in this position, dumating nga kayo dito, magandang buhay, kinuha yung pamilya nyo, no? Asawa at mga anak. Can you include them? The answer is yes, you can include them in your application if they're eligible. Okay? Now, sabihin natin, nung dumating kayo dito, kasama nyo nga sila. Ibig sabihin, 5 taon na din nga sila dito. You can include them in your application, of course, as long as, so yung asawa nyo, as long as they have permission to be in the United Kingdom as your partner, okay, dependent mo nga sila. They've also lived in the United Kingdom as your dependent for a minimum, so for the last continuous 5 years. Your relationship is genuine, you continue to live together, and there's enough income nga to support yourselves and your dependents, and you're not using public funds. So no housing benefit, no universal credit, and frankly, you wouldn't get it anyway because of course they need to check na you're entitled, you should not get it, no? So yung partner nyo, asawa nyo, you can include the time they've spent as your dependent on another visa. So for example, sabihin natin dumating nga kayo dito, trabaho nga kayo, kasama yung asawa nyo, pero hindi nga kayo nagkasunduan ng employer. Pinalitan nyo yung visa nyo. So ibig sabihin pinalitan nga din yung, so dependent nga sila. So they can count the visa that they had, no, as your dependent with the former employer. Pwede nilang idugtong yun with the next employer nga. So that they can make an application, so it can count. Now, because they are a separate applicant, kailangan din nila yung life in the UK, okay? And they also need to meet the English language requirement. Dahil kahit ikaw, hindi mo kailangan because you've already done it. You've already done the B1 in order to make an application and succeed to enter the United Kingdom as an employee. Sila hindi pa nila ginawa. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nilang dalawa yung test, no? The life in the UK test, unless they're age between under 18 or over 65, and the English language, yung B1 level. Okay? So, importante nga din yun. Huwag niyong kalimutan. Kung hindi nila gawin yun, hindi sila papasa. No? Eligibility for children. Sabihin natin, dumating nga kayo dito, kasama yung anak nyo. Dito lang nag-aaral, dito nga sila lumaki. No? 5 years in a child's life is quite a long time. So, can you include them? Yes, you can include them. No, yung nga lang, you need to be able to show they have permission to be in the UK as your child. Dependent mo sila. They're not married, so, or in the civil partnership, because they're dependent still on you. They will live with you and be supported by you without recourse to public funds. And of course, you and the other parent are both currently applying to settle or already settled in the UK. So basically, kasama nga sila. No? Now, what would happen though, sabihin natin, kung if they are over age of 18, no? It's a very common issue actually, kung over 18 na nga sila. They can still apply for visa nga as your dependent, kahit over 18 na nga sila, as long as they entered the United Kingdom when they were under 18, no? Or got their visa when they were under 18 as your dependent. Okay? So pwede mo pa rin silang isama. So sabihin natin hindi pa sila lamang taong nga dito, no? But then what else? What can you do? But they can still make an application for extension nga. So hindi pa nga sapat yung 5 years sa kanila. They can apply to extend nga yung visa nga nila even though you already have indefinite leave to remain, no? Because yung ang status mo nga dati is skilled worker. Okay? Importante nga makikita nyo yung especially kung over 18 na yung bata na kasama nyo na they are still dependent on you. Okay? Because otherwise, again, they will refuse the application. Kung yung bata over 18 na, again, like your spouse, kailangan nilang kumuha ng Life in the UK test and the English language requirement, yung B1 po. Because obviously, they didn't do that before because chances are they entered the UK when they were still under 18. Now, warning, okay? So sabihin natin, so a few topics ago, sabi ko sa inyo, okay, kung indefinite na nga kayo dito, tapos gusto nyo magpasok ng British passport, no, naturalization, kailangan nyo magbiyahe, you can still, until you've done your oath, no, your oath taking, you can still travel nga using your passport with indefinite leave to remain and come back into the United Kingdom. Iba po dito, okay? Pagka nagpasok kayong ganitong application, huwag kayong lalabas. Kung lumabas kayo, then the application is treated as withdrawn. Kung lumabas kayo, it's treated as withdrawn, tapos natapos na yung visa nyo, then baka hindi kayo papabalikin dito because, of course, then you do no longer have a visa. Now, finally, sabihin natin, indefinite leave to remain, nakuha nyo, no? Nakuha nyo lahat. What then? Now, then you can make an application for naturalization leading to British passport. But kung ganitong visa nyo, normally kailangan nyo mag-intay ng 12 months between the date nga that you got your indefinite leave to remain and then you can make the application. Okay, there are some exceptions to that, and actually it's one of the things that may question nga kanina mamaya, and I will deal with the exception nga. So it's not so ibig sabihin under this route you can then make an application nga for indefinite leave to remain. Hopefully makuha nyo nga yun. Pagka indefinite na kayo, then you are only 12 months away, no, to naturalization and therefore a British passport. And for those of you who want that, then it can be it can certainly make life quite a lot, no, easier nga dahil pagka we're entitled to become dual naman, no? The Philippines allow it, and the UK certainly allow it. So, ibig sabihin, you can be British and Filipino kung galing nga kayo sa Pilipinas at the same time. So, it is this route is it probably has become much more popular in the last 10 years just because of the number of people nga entering the United Kingdom to come and work, no? And on varying degrees, no? Some people nga are coming in to work as managers, nga carers, that's nurses, doctors nga dito, teachers, no? So it does allow you potentially the possibility to apply for indefinite leave to remain, which hopefully will then lead to a British passport. Now, I hope that was clear. I had to race through it. Dami nga natin kailangan pag-usapan. Now comes the truly my favorite part. I mean, I like the whole thing. Anyway, kung kilala niyo ako, especially mga kalayante ko, no, alam niyo, I like talking, no, I'm told I like it too much. But so I like the whole thing. Pero paborito ko with the whole segment nga natin, Imbatian, which we're going to do now. So if you want to message me, please do message me, you know. And we have some really lovely, you know, regular, no, mga kaibigan natin. So hopefully, nandiyan nga sila. Let's have a look. Let's batian natin. Tingnan natin.